MeetEdgar community. Today we are talking all about funnels. Now, if you have been on social media as a marketer, you know everyone who's a follower of your page or group is not at the same point in their journey. Some people are just being aware that a product or a service like yours exists, while other people are in that buyer's mentality that they know they need your product or service. They're just deciding what brand to buy from. And it's hard sometimes to establish what kind of content to produce for each of these segments. So today we're going to talk a little bit about why I think social media should truly be used to make sure that you're giving people a way to reach you off of the platforms. Because remember, if we're only engaging with our followers on those platforms, we're basically just talking to them in rented space. So we want to use social media in order to take all of those people and bring them over to our newsletter. Now, one of the best ways to do this, of course, is with a lead magnet. Now, a lead magnet is just a piece of PDF or a webinar even could be used as a lead magnet, or a video that is going to solve someone's problem. So what your ideal client has as a problem, you're going to create a lead magnet, which is basically just like a bonus piece of content that you can get out on social media for people to exchange their email address so that they get that knowledge that you're offering. I think it's a really hard thing to do, though. We talk about it so simply because, hey, it's one of those things that every digital marketer needs. However, when we think about your email address, it's kind of like your digital phone number, right? You don't just give it away to anyone. So building trust amongst all of these different segments of people in your funnel is going to take a little bit of time. Now, the first thing that you need is content, right? If we're sharing on social media, you really need to make sure that you have what I like to refer to as a primary content platform. So a primary content platform is not social media. It's something like a blog, a podcast, or like videos, whatever kind of content that you produce. You need this, whether you're a service-based or product-based business these days, in order to gain the attention from people online. Now, this is really important because this is really going to make sure that you can be found in other places, like when people do search engines. So something like Instagram, not a primary content platform. Why? Because if you type something into Google, an Instagram post is not going to pop up. So we need to make sure that when we're creating our content for each of these segments, that it's living and hosted on a different platform than just the social media platform. So that's going to be step one. Step two is going to be to make sure that you really think about the question someone has after consuming that one piece of content. And that is going to be your lead magnet. So for example, we could write a post all about how to blog correctly. Here at MeetEdgar, we love teaching people in the digital marketing space really great practices about blogging. Now, at the end of that, what questions would they have? Well, it could be, well, how do I get eyes on my blog? So at the end of that blog post, we could create a lead magnet that says, if you want to go further to learn how to distribute your blog posts, download this guide here. So in order to download it, you're going to enter your email address. We will email you that PDF, that ebook, that video, whatever it is. That's how you build an email list. And you can do this with any type of person, whether they are just becoming aware or whether they are ready to buy from you. You might want to start out with just one really basic lead magnet that's going to solve a problem that your followers have, your ideal customer. But as you build your business out, think about the different lead magnets that you can use for each of these segments to build your email list and not just focus on that one lead magnet that might not be speaking to people in that brand awareness phase. For example, with that example of blogging, that could be something that we use as a lead magnet for our brand awareness stage of the funnel. That's because people who have content like a blog and want to learn how to optimize blogging would need a tool like MeetEdgar, but maybe they don't even know that a social media automation tool exists. So we are bringing them into our world by giving them content and how to improve and how to solve a problem that they might have, which is how to structure their blog, how to really get a great content calendar for your blog, all of that fun stuff, right? So that would be a piece of information that we're going to lead people to in order to get them just aware of our brand, to hear the name MeetEdgar, to sign up for our newsletter so that we can nurture them then on the fact that, hey, there's a system and a social media automation tool that you can use to distribute your blog and to save you a ton of time, keep you more consistent, and gain more followers, right? That's going to be the message that we're going to nurture through our email. But those people who are ready to buy, perhaps the lead magnet that we want to go ahead and get them to download would be something much more associated with our product of the social media tool. So that could be something like categorizing your blog posts, or some sort of like math that we use in order to teach people batching in your software for social media, stuff like that. That's going to attract people who are much more aware of and much more willing to buy right away for our product or service. So think about your lead magnets in those ways. I think that it's really important to think about when people come into your product or service, when they purchase from you, or even when they sign up for your newsletter, what information they already know and what information would be really useful for you to teach them before they purchase from you. So for example, it's really helpful if you're going to purchase a social media automation software like MeetEdgar, if you already understand two concepts. One is categorizing your social media status updates. So that's saying, sharing blog posts, sharing tips, sharing curated content, you get it, different categories of social media posts. And the other is evergreen content. So this idea of making sure your content isn't tied to space or time and can be shared more than once, so that you're getting more mileage out of that one piece of content and it has a longer shelf life online. So if we can go ahead and develop lead magnets that go ahead and speak to those two concepts, when people get in our app, they're going to get to their first win faster. So that's actually one of the reasons that we do things like these live streams and offer this information for free. It's also a reason we do webinars to offer information for free, because we know if you learn this information up front, you're going to be much more successful much sooner with our app, just leading you to be a lot happier with the product that you purchased. So think about that for your brand. What could you actually go ahead and teach people for free that will make them much more likely to be successful at using your product or service? That's going to be a great thing to create a lead magnet off of. I think that it's cool to actually talk to people about this kind of stuff as well. For example, at MeetEdgar, we do office hours every day, which essentially if you use our app, you can come to office hours, ask questions about the setup, stuff like that. And this is a really prime opportunity for us to look at the questions people are asking to see if there's any sort of strategy that we could teach people on a live stream like this or in a free webinar, so that they already have that information before they purchase. So think about the ways that you can do that, and I promise it's going to make your life a whole lot easier moving people down the funnel. So let me know kind of what you are thinking for your lead magnets, whether it's to bring someone in the brand awareness stage versus the decision maker stage, and go ahead and put it in the description of this video. Comment here. I would love to know what kind of lead magnets you guys are putting out there, and what information that you're teaching for free in order to set people up for success once they actually purchase from you. Because moving people down the funnel from brand awareness to purchase shouldn't be the stopping point of a good funnel, right? That should continue all the way through. And the messages that you're putting out there should be really kind of owned by your customer service team, by your onboarding team, by your product team, in the same way that the marketing message is out there, because we want to set people's expectations of what they purchased from what was marketed to them is going to have a through line once they purchase from you. So let me know. I'm dying to know what else you guys are getting up to and what else you want to learn in August. So also be sure to email support@meetedgar.com, and I'm more than happy to chat social media strategy. Thanks so much for tuning in today, guys.